Hello, welcome to Radharc. Do you know what a Tattie-Hoker is? Well, it's a Scottish word to describe a potato picker, and it's used specially to describe the Irish workers who spend their summers and autumns taking in the potato crop in the lowlands of Scotland. The job of the Tattie-Hoker has always been a pretty tough one, but it hasn't been made any easier by the conditions under which they're expected to live, conditions that have improved very little in the past 100 years. The lowlands of Scotland produce some of the finest potatoes in the world. The huge fields, 40 or 50 acres in extent, yield as much as 20 tons of potatoes to the acre. The potato crop in one of these fields is worth a good £25,000 at present-day retail prices. A mechanical digger throws the potatoes to the surface, where they're gathered into baskets by the potato pickers. The work is tiring and uncomfortable, but it's not particularly heavy, and women and children work in the fields alongside the men. All the Tattie-Hokers in this field are seasonal workers from the west of Ireland who spend the winters at home and the summers and autumns in the Scottish potato fields. During the last few years, the conditions under which they have to work and live have been causing growing concern not only among the Irish themselves, but also among Scottish people, including some of the Scottish priests.
Now, you've been worried for some time about the Irish potato workers coming here. Why?
Well, particularly because as the parish priest of the area, I find that once they leave Ireland and come over here, that their moral welfare is quite definitely in jeopardy.
How?
Well, when they come, for instance, very often they find themselves in living quarters which are fairly isolated, far away from churches, out of contact with local Catholics, and out of contact with any form of organised religion. And the likelihood is that while they're here, at least they're not going to be practising the religion as they would when they are at home. And as I say, as a priest in the area, I feel very concerned for them, because while they're here, they're under the pastoral care of whichever priest in whose parish they're living, you see. So I certainly feel very concerned, and I've searched the country round about here every year since I've come looking for them.
The physical conditions, what sort of physical conditions did you find them in?
Well, when I went to visit one particular hut, I think it's 2 years ago, I found that boys and girls were living in the one hut, and as I say, this didn't particularly help their moral welfare. And then the conditions of the hut itself, you would hardly find it in the similar conditions in some of the worst slums in the larger cities. Now, obviously, these young people, had they known before they came to the country that they were expected to live under these type of conditions, they may have been deterred from coming. And I've heard also of cases of young people coming and actually living in the same place as the farm animals.
In one corner of the field, the potatoes are cleaned and sorted and packed into sacks for the market. The Irish Tattie-Hokers traditionally work in groups of 20 to 30 people, which are called squads. The whole squad comes over in a body in May and travels about from farm to farm for the next 6 months, spending 2 or 3 weeks at each farm. The workers are not directly employed either by the farmer or the potato merchant, but by contractors who are known as gaffers, and who visit Ireland each spring to collect the squads for the summer's work. The gaffer is paid a lump sum by the potato merchant, and whatever is left over after paying the workers goes into his own pocket. The workers may never meet the farmer who owns the field or the merchant who buys the crop. All their dealings are with the gaffer, who is normally an Irishman himself.
Mr. Padden, you have the job of collecting the group that are here picking. How do you go about gathering them together?
Oh, well, I'll go way back to Ireland on the 20th of May. So, travel about then, Ballina, and anywhere I hear there's workers, take them over here and they want me to Ayrshire.
Well, do you offer them a definite price?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
is there any bargaining about the price?
Yes, you'll have to give them a certain price. You'll have to pay that whether you're working or not then.
In fact, the money isn't all that great. £13 for the men and £11 for the women.
Well, it's no bad, like, it's men only getting £1.7 here and women £1.5 some years back.
Now, that's a long time ago now. That would be slave rate almost.
Maybe it'll be about 30 years ago anyways when I took this job on first. That's the wages was going that time.
Now the system is that the man who buys the potatoes pays you, does he? And you have the job then of making the arrangement and the agreement with the workers.
Yes, that's right, Father.
So whatever you can get, if you can cut down the wages they get, there'll be more money in this for you.
Oh, there'll be more money for me, but I cannot cut it down because what you promise at home, if you don't pay, they won't wait till you